This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
The stakes have never been higher. The competition has never been stronger. 42 drivers, 25 rounds. One will be crowned champion. Competition. Commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. You're watching the premier American open wheel series on iRacing. The Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment starts now.
Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions, a phrase most hoop fans never thought they would hear. Coincidentally, Toronto is also the next stop for the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Just down the road from the country's largest theme park, Canada's Wonderland lays a roller coaster of different variety. A sweeping turns and rolling hills of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park that are known as Motorsports plays host to round 9 of 24 on the 2019 LIS season schedule. Sponsored by First Medical Equipment, this is the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the Thumbs Up, Cancer Down Grand Prix of Motorsport. And all the simulated IR18 action from green flag to victory donuts can be seen live as it happens right here on the iRacing Esports Network. From the Great White North, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast and the Sim Experience Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the Thumbs Up Cancer Down Grand Prix of Motorsport that we will bring to you immediately as we count down to green. Bill Soupson joined way up in the press box to bring you our bird's eye view by former real-world IndyCar driver Richie Hearn. Amjad Yaman has director duties armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Fear. Okay, after taking both races in Detroit last time out at Twin Ring, Motegi, our defending champion Adam Blocker etched himself into the Lionheart record books by becoming the first driver in series history to win 3 straight events. Blocker set the record by using timely fuel strategy and a very light foot to pull away from the field, besting Ron Hacker and Joe Hassard. Also, fuel saved their way to a podium finish. Today, the egg-shaped oval of Motegi is replaced by the twists and turns of Motorsport. Richie, your thoughts about this place?
Yeah, thank you, Soup. And here we are, just like you said, at Motorsport. Otherwise now known as Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, just east of Toronto. I've raced this track a few times when I was running Toyota Atlantics, and it's one of my favorites. It is super fast, super dangerous, and it's kind of like pull up your pants and let's go racing type of place. Not a lot of runoff. There's no place on this track that actually is flat. We have some really fast turns to begin the lap in turns 1, 2, and 3. But the real key to this lap is 5A and 5B, known as Moss Corner. because that leads on to that long uphill straightaway, which will probably be most of our passing opportunities. But probably the best way for your viewers to get an eye on what this track is really like, let's jump on board that GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman of the GSRC IR18, so let's do a lap around Mosport. Down into turn 1, this is a frighteningly fast corner that won't offer much in the way of passing opportunities. You've got to get across the track quick so that you can set up for Clayton. You'll need the utmost of commitment and accuracy to find speed through here, but if it goes wrong, it's very tough to save it from spearing into the barriers. After that comes Quebec, which works best with a late apex, so try not to turn in too early. It'll open up on the exit, and then comes another steep plunge downhill through 4 that blends into the Moss hairpin. The compression at the bottom of the hill lets you brake later than you'd expect, but the crest of the first apex really lightens the car up. It's the second apex you ought to worry about because it empties onto the Andretti straight. This is the longest acceleration zone of the track, and as you'd expect, a poor exit from the hairpin makes you a sitting duck all the way up the hill. That means most passing will probably take place on your way towards turn 8, but this fast right-hand sweeper really doesn't slow the car much. However, sometimes drivers will hang around the outside so that when it switches direction into 9, they've got the inside line. The final corner, White's, has a nasty tall curb on the inside, and I'd advise staying away from it. But hopefully you've now finished a lap around Mosport.
There we have a lap around Mosport in this Dallara IR18. As you can see, it's not flat anywhere, very fast, not really any slowing corners either, except for that turns 5A and 5B. The countdown to green is brought to you by SimExperience, the team behind the AccuForce Pro V2 direct drive steering systems. By providing unparalleled realism and the most advanced tuning features on the market, the AccuForce provides a significant advantage to any sim racer. They can also make for an effective training tool for real-world drivers. For more information on the entire SimExperience ecosystem, including their GS5 seat stage series motion systems and SimVive software, visit simexperience.com. And please use the promo code SimXLion to get 5% off SimVive software.
Thank you, Richie. All right, now let's talk points as we work here towards the halfway point of the season. These points brought to you by First Medical Equipment. Let's talk win. Adam Blocker, he coming into this rounds, a few rounds ago, he had none. Now he has 3. Dan Guerin has a couple. The other guys with wins, Dustin Wardlow, Stace Karam, and of course, way down in 26 off the chart, it's Scotty Johnson. Now, how about your big movers? Joe Hassard, up a bunch of spots. He finished 3rd last time out. The rookie Damon Martinez, he moves up 8 spots thanks to his 4th. And Brandon Limkeman jumps onto the chart as he was 5th. Great runs from those guys. Big dropper, the big sinker, Brian Yazik, but he was a no-show, so don't worry because drop races haven't been taken into account yet. Let's look at the team championship. Now, it's still Adrenaline Motorsports Red and Synergy East sitting at the top. Last time I told you about this could really come down between a battle between the 2 drivers there of Brian Beard and Ron Hacker and Brian Carey. Well, Hacker did his job as he finished 2nd. Carey was only 14th. The problem for Hacker's problem was that his teammates didn't do very well as it was Guerin and Wardle finished well down, like 14th and 25th between them. So Synergy really struggles to move up. Other guys to watch out for there. Skidmark Motorsports, they had a good run. Brian Beard, James Brandt, and Paul Jenkins with 15th, 16th, and 17th respectively as they had a good run. They finished 3rd on the day. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the rookie standings. Richie?
Yeah, the rookie standings here are brought to you by Butt Kicker. And as you can see, Martinez is up 3 spots to take the lead after that good run the last time. But you can see it's only 1 point back to Carey. And yeah, he was first, just moves down to 2nd. So tight battle right there. Just 20 points back is Hill, 30 points back is Karam. Man, it's going to be a tight run all the way through here. Sandman's down 1 spot, but he's right in the mix. So there's going to be no runaway champion here. They're going to have to earn it all the way to the end.
Considered the premier fixed setup racing league for the Dallara IR18 on the iRacing service, the Lionheart IndyCar Series honors the memory of the late Dan Weldon. And now back. Yes, folks, he is back. And this is by popular demand, or at least some type of popular demand. All right, Professor, what do you got for us?
Dieter, get me the sprockets. Oh, no. Oh, Soup, hey. Soup, it's the professor. I'm back. One of the most underrated parts of setting up these cars is the gear ratios. Now, most people associate gear ratios only with speed. While this is true on the ovals, getting the gear ratios correct can help extract that very, very last ounce of speed out of the car. But it's a little bit more important on these road courses now. Setting up the gear ratios have two separate and sometimes competing objectives here on these road courses. The first objective is to get the car to its top speed as efficiently, as quickly as possible on the long Andretti straight here. Now, this can be achieved by keeping the gear ratios relatively consistent throughout the gearbox. The second objective is make sure the car is in the correct position in the power band through the corners. Now, you get that a little bit too low and the car won't accelerate quickly enough, a little bit too high, and then the car is going to require a gear shift on the corner exit, which could lead to, of course, spinning the tires. And we've seen that happen a lot. But in many cases, the smoothest gear stack on the straight might leave you between gears in the corners, while gearing every corner correct could leave you with a short sixth gear, and you certainly don't want to hit that rev limiter going down that long straightaway here to end up this race here at Motorsport. But listen, carefully balancing these two objectives, well, the car will stay balanced on the corners while still hitting top speed on the straights, gaining you not just hundredths, but tenths of a second per lap. Fellas, have fun.
Thank you, Professor. Good to have you back with us. All right, Richie, we're always picking up new viewers here, so why don't we tell those guys about the race detail?
Yep, and these series details come to us thanks to Minus 273, the premier name in karting gloves. For more information on Minus 273's full line of gloves and apparel, visit www.minus273.biz. Use promo code LHRS for 25% off all your orders. And here we are, the series details. We are in Season 7 of the Lionheart IndyCar Series. We're working round 9 of a lot of races here of 24 with 3 drops. We're working using the new Dallara IR18, of course. The setups are fixed, but they have been adjusted to make them just a little bit raceable. And we're always working on a cash and prizes totaling $9,652.
Thank you. Boy, that's a nice cash prize indeed. You know, the best of the best in the iRacing World Championships, as many as the top private leagues like you're watching here tonight, are spotlighted right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you become a subscriber so you don't miss a moment of it. GSRC is proud to be part of the stable of broadcasters on IESN. All right, weather always plays a factor in any event. Let's bring that up, take a quick peek at that. What do you think, Richie? Ooh, a little warm on the track.
Yeah, a little warm up here in the Great White North, 102-degree track temp. Not too bad. You know, it's a little warm, but not unraceable. Got a little bit of humidity at 55%. A tiny bit of wind coming out of the northwest at 4 miles an hour, so shouldn't affect these guys, but it's going to be a nice sunny day for them here.
While we were going through all the business, you were able to see the qualifying has started, and look who sits at the top. It is indeed Sage Karam. Adam Blocker sitting in second with Michael Goodman behind him. Scanning through, looking for any surprises. Don't see much.
No, everybody's kind of just settling down there. I mean, Michael Goodman put in a good lap to start third at the moment. George Salmon up there. Connor Harrington's trying to put some laps together. He's sitting in 10th at the moment. Andrew Kinsella 8th, so that's a little bit farther up than he's been lately, so that's a good, that'll be a good start for him. But, man, there's a lot of cars out here. It's going to be a busy track for sure. It's not very long.
Yeah, you know, you talked about Harrington. That was surprised to see him down as far too. Speed's not usually a problem for him. It's getting the car home. He seemed to getting better at that as the season goes along. Talked about a big field. 33 drivers have put in qualifying times. There are 35 names on the entry list. Mike Rigney and Pierre Degla, the last 2 drivers to put in times.
And with lap times only just barely over a minute, they're going to be getting around this track very quick. So with that many drivers, traffic's going to be definitely an issue as we get farther into this race.
Right on board with Connor Harrington. He's down in 10th. He's looking to better that time if he can. He's got a long way to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get this lap in with only 16 seconds left, and he's just going into through Quebec right now. I think he's going to have to start from the 10th position when it's all said and done. And with that done, let's go ahead and get to your starting grid right now. Richie, as always, we have time. It's a pace lap. We'll take it a row at a time. Front row's filled by Sage Karam, the youngster. He's going to be inside of Adam Blocker. Richie?
Starting third would be Michael Goodman, and right next to him would be George Sandman.
Strong rookie Damon Martinez is in fifth, flanked by Brian Beard.
Tyler Graff rolls out in the 7th spot. Right next to him would be Andrew Kinsella.
The Candyman, Dustin Wardlow, is in 9th. He's going to be inside of the guy we just saw, Connor Harrington.
Dan Guerin starting 11th, and right next to him in 12th would be Justin Weaver.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's Stefan Larkham. In the Von Hansen Meat Machine is Bob Mikas sitting in 14th.
Starting 15th is Brian Yazik, and next to him in 16th will be Joe Branch.
Next was filled up by James Brandt and Sammy Ryman.
Chris Lanini 19th, and starting 20th will be Ron Hacker.
Hitting blackjack, it's Joe Canigan Flanagan. In the double duck spot, Scott Bolster.
John Hill in the 23rd position, and 24th starting 24th to be Tony Schowen.
The Watchman keeping time in the 25th position, Mark Cohn. He's inside of Brandon Limkeman.
27th is going to be David Altman, and 28th will be George Anzaldo.
29th, it's Brian Is Not Easy Being Greenlee. He's flanked by Paul Jenkins.
Starting 31st will be Isaiah Dupree, and 32nd will be Robert Bluen.
Last driver to put in a qualifying time, Big Joe Hassert. Then hopefully we're going to see Pierre Degla and Mike Rigney race with us right now. Let's see if they're actually out on the track, or maybe they're just up doing a little maintenance up on top. Well, Rigney's there. Not sure if Degla is racing. He might be doing a little bit of race control as we fly over the grid. Oh, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, very narrow front stretch too. So they're going to get the start and head down into turn 1. And at turn 1 and 2, I mean, it's so fast. And if you get out in the grass, it's just going to take off on you. So it's going to be real interesting to see if these guys be a little patient, maybe get single file, or if they just start racing hard right out of the box.
I can confirm that it looks like Degla is not out there. I believe he's probably doing some race stewardship. We have onboard cameras for you. How about the car number 38 and the Thumbs Up Cancer Down Machine, driven by Brian Greenlee. The Bakersfield, California-based nonprofit offers supports to those fighting cancer. Visit thumbsupcancerdown.com. Damon Martinez, the number 3 Trax Racer, designing high-end gaming accessories for over a decade. TrackRacer.com. And the Watchman, Mark Cohn, and the 39 San Maxwell Customs onboard camera. Custom steering wheels for the serious sim racing enthusiast. SamMaxwellCustoms.com. The field working their way through Quebec, now heading down to Moss.
Yeah, they're going to head on down that hill to the left. And the problem with Moss here is that you kind of enter at a very steep angle, and then it just apexes right at the crest. And then you got to stop and try to turn again. And it's so important to get that run up the front straightaway because, like I said, that's going to be your main passing zone. So watching them in practice, saw a lot of guys going off the track there.
As they head down the long back straight, let's bring up our race analysis if we can. We can show you how far we're going here today. 51 laps. How many stops do we have in store? Well, there's going to be 2. We figure a max stint is about 18, but they do have push to pass. So they figure it's about 18 or 19 without using push to pass. That could shrink a little bit. Either way, I think it's safely a 2-stop race for everybody. And you can see the incident points down there for picking those up. You get 25 and you're done. The field makes their way down the back straight into probably one of the better passing zones on the track, corner number 8. If you don't get it done into 8, if you're side by side, you got to work your way through the S's up into White's corner. And then we go back across the start-finish line. Glad you're here with us on the Global SimRacing Channel, streaming your way on the iRacing Esports Network. Competition, excitement, This is Lionheart.
Wow, and Adam Blocker got one hell of a start there. He really jumped out in front of Sage and took the lead going through turn one. You can see how they crest the hill into two. Looks like everybody's kind of single file at the moment, so they're all being a little bit patient.
We had a little bit of a spinner in the back, but I guess we're okay. Might have been Big Joe Hazard that had an issue. He was starting way in the back, so they'll just have to work a little harder.
And here they come already up that back straightaway. Sage Karam is right on the back of Adam Blocker. Looks like he's going to try to make a move. You can make this move on the outside, as Adam's going to make him do, because the next corner you will be on the inside. He's going to clear him pretty easily as he gets into that corner.
Karam does make the pass despite the defensive line from Blocker. It was Limpkeman that had a little bit of an issue. Other than that, it looks like everybody is clean coming around. It was contact with Big Joe Hazard.
And Sage Karam gets the lead, starts gapping Adam Blocker right now. Adam's got George Sandman all over the back of him. You can see everybody's kind of single file. Not really any room to go side by side through the first half of the track. It's that second half that we're going to see most of the passing being done.
Boy, I tell you, other than the top two, everybody races in the order that they were qualified. Not a single pass done, all the way down as far as I can scroll down into 22nd position. Oh, the few movers down there, I guess.
That's just good to see that they're...
Oh, and you know what? In Moss, Weaver has had an issue. Lanini. George Anzaldo took evasive action.
Yeah, right up there in the Moss into that first section of the track.
This started with Lanini getting loose right in front of Joe Flanagan. And now Flanagan is off. Flanagan is in the pits.
There you go. There's the car spun out in front of the field right there. So fortunately, no contact, it looked like. Just kind of mixed everybody up, and everybody's going to continue on.
Flanagan had to take evasive action through the grass. Maybe he damaged the car. Meanwhile, back up front. Oh, Weaver gets tapped by Dan Guerin. Guerin has to wait till Weaver clears him. Guerin loses a ton of spots. It was Moss again.
Oh, yeah, Dan Guerin got right on the inside, and his left front just clipped Justin and kind of pushes him around. And now Weaver's got to have to sit there and almost wait the whole field to go by.
The Moby Dickey's car of Justin Weaver got harpooned there by Guerin. And then you see Guerin has to wait till Weaver clears him. Guerin gets going. Weaver really had to take a long time to get going. Little messy early on. All this going on behind Sage Karam, who's now opened up a second half lead over Blocker. Sandman is in third. He's picked up a position on Michael Goodman. Boy, Soup, come on, get with it. Sandman in third. Thank you. There we go. Another issue. Joe Branch, and it's Moss again.
Yeah, there's another car. Once again, every lap. And he's got some heavy damage on the front of his car. He's going to have to come in and change that front wing.
This might be fun to watch it from Brent and now Blocker has had an issue. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I haven't seen any issue that he had. Maybe he got a penalty because he jumped the start. Maybe he jumped the start. No, on the main start, I think because he took off way before Sage did. So he might have got a stop and go. I don't know.
More trouble. Martinez with an issue.
Yeah, all in the same spot here. That corner is really tricky.
He goes wide through Moss. And honestly, he is about the 15th car that has done that. So he falls from what was 7th now down into 5th, or down into 9th. Okay, let's catch our breath, including the commentator. It's been frantic here. Karam up by 3 seconds now on Sandman. Blocker's out of the picture because of the penalty. Goodman races in 3rd. There is a car behind Goodman. That is Tony Schowen. He's a lap down. Beard is in 4th. Rounding out your top 5, Tyler Groff. Sweet Sassy Molassy. This thing has been chaotic.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sage Karam has gotten out in the lead there, and he's got a healthy 3.2 second gap. So he's doing his own thing. George Sandman moving up to 2nd. He's all by himself. Michael Goodman doing a good job. Those guys are all separated out. The biggest battle right behind him with Brian Beard. He's got a hungry pack of cars all over the back of him.
Yeah. We're going to take a look at Brian Greenlee, who had an issue. There you go. And Moss.
Oh.
All right, let's come back live to 4th position. This is our 5th position. This is Tyler Groff. This is a good battle. We've been jumping around a lot. This is Kinsella, Harrington, and Martinez, a 4-car battle. Groff just made a mistake. He was right behind Beard, but he made a mistake. Lost a lot of time. Here comes Kinsella. Groff taking his half out of the middle. Now he inches over in kind of a Hornish drift bit there.
He's going to go right around the outside. Once you get that position, the next corner is yours. So nice job by Andrew. He was getting pretty old, getting tired of sitting behind him because I saw him going through turns 1 and 2 and almost getting into the back of him.
Move Kinsella up to 5th now. 1.3 seconds to get up to Brian Beard. And Kinsella starts to pull away. Harrington next on to try to get around Groff. Harrington qualified in 10th, up 3 spots. We thought 10th was a little bit far back for Connor. Another rookie back there, Damon Martinez. And
yeah,
as I say, as Kinsella starts to get away, they gather him back up. Reggie.
I mean, basically right now, all you have to do is just not crash in Moss Corner and you're going to move up.
Karam running away with the Sandman and Goodman. No battle there. Beard all by himself. This is where we've been jumping around a little bit. We get to watch a little bit of racing here.
Yeah, even though Andrew got around Tyler Groff, Groff hasn't given up. He's right on the back of him. And right there is Connor Harrington and Damon Martinez. So we got a nice little pack going. Brian Beard is separated from that group, so all the heat's on Andrew.
Larkerman and Yazik chasing 9th and 10th. They're about 3 seconds back. Let's stay with Kinsella and Groff through Moss, and we'll see if they get a run down the back straight. Groff maybe a little bit too far back, but Moss, anything can happen in this corner.
Everybody gets through there cleanly. Adam Blocker hasn't been able to do too much just yet. He's in 16th spot after that. I believe it's going to be a stop and go penalty for that jump start, but we'll kind of keep an eye on him as we go. But he definitely has a fast enough car to get back to the front.
With that settling down a bit, let's take you to 9th position now. We'll talk about these two drivers. They're hoping to get up to the guys that are battling ahead of them. This is Larkamp and Yazik. Larkamp up 4 spots, Yazik up 5. And that rounds out your top 10. My goodness.
Oh, we got Adam Blockers caught up to Scott Bolster here for 15th. He's all over the back of him. He's he hits the back of Scott. Pushes him off into the tires. Scott's off the track in turn 3. Adam was getting a little bit impatient, it looked like. Didn't really have the opening and just kind of shoved his way through, as we're going to watch on the replay right here.
Maybe Bolster starts to get loose in front of him. Maybe it's a little bit of net code that made him look like he was getting loose.
Yeah, it looked a little bit just like Adam, just kind of got in the back of him. Looks like right here he's got an opening and he's just not quite close, there, and then just taps his rear tire and off he goes. Scott's got some front wing damage he's going to have to fix.
As we come back live, maybe on Ron Hacker, who might be a little bit nervous after he saw what happened to Bolster, who was right behind him. Well, he's got a blocker on him right now. All right, Richie, how far Blocker's going to make it up when this thing is over?
Well, I mean, he's pushing pretty hard. He's got a fast enough car, but it's a matter of just getting by these guys. If he can get by Ron Hacker, he's got a little bit of gap to Bob Mikas. And here they come up to Moss Corner, almost into the back of him. He should get him up front straightaway. I'm going to say Adam, if he stays clean, he should be able to get up into the top 10.
He makes the move on Ron Hacker. Hacker coming off a great finish last time out. Got a second. Let's go ahead and look at this battle for 5th position. We thought Kinsella would pull away, but Groff has stuck with him. Look what they've done, though, Richie. They pulled away from Martinez and Harrington. In fact, I think Martinez got around Harrington.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Damon did get around Harrington, so that separated these two groups. So instead of a group of 4, working on a group of 2, and here comes, oh, man. I thought Tyler was going to just stuff it in there. And
so is that
loose.
Going around there, you saw Kinsella take a really wide line. You think that was Groff maybe thinking about making the pass on the inside, or there's only really one way to approach Moss, right? And that's all the way out and all the way in.
Just got a little bit loose and just kind of had to correct the car at the top, and that pushed him wide. There's only really one line. I mean, we're already working lap 12, so these pit stops are going to be coming pretty soon. The pit lane is very narrow, so getting in and off this pit area is going to be tricky.
Something I'm looking forward to, maybe not Sage Karam, and that is lap traffic. We don't get to see a lot of that. We're definitely going to see it here today. Big field, little track, lap traffic.
He's got clear sailing in front of him at the moment. I don't see anybody there, but he's definitely going to catch them at some point.
You see what's in front of him. Talked about the roller coaster. There's a good example of it right there. Okay, let's go to 5th. Here comes the pass. Kinsella takes the defensive line. Tyler Graft around the outside, closes the door.
Yeah, he just chopped him off, and that's the same pass that Andrew did on him. So, he just kind of saw that happen, and when he got the chance, he didn't give Andrew any opportunity to get back in there.
Kinsella 0.7 of a second up on Martinez and Harrington, who are coming. Let's quickly look at a driver we haven't talked much about. 11th position, Samuel Ryman having a good run. I see you, Sam.
Yeah, he's been having some good runs. He had a good run at Motegi, but unfortunately got caught out on that whole fuel mileage strategy thing. But lately he's been hovering right around that top 10 spot pretty consistently.
All alone in 11th. He's got 2 seconds on Bob Mikas. Samuel and Bobby, though, don't worry. You won't be alone for long because Adam Blocker, he's coming. He's right behind you guys. They come across the line. They are working lap number 15. We're getting close to pit stops here. I'd say maybe in the next 3 to 4 laps.
Yeah, depending on how much they used on that push to pass, what will determine on when they're going to come into the pits. But yeah, just a couple more laps, 3 laps maybe. Probably see some guys maybe pit earlier, try to do the undercut. You know, if you're in traffic right now, if you got somebody in front of you that's holding you back, sometimes you're better off just coming in maybe a lap
Damon
earlier.
Martinez makes a mistake in Moss. And he loses the position to Harrington.
We just need to have a camera sitting on this section of the track.
Let's see if we can get a hold of Dougie Beard, our camera Zuru. See if he can get one locked in there. Boy, I just heard somebody have an issue. I'm not sure where it was. I guess we're all okay.
Somebody on the straightaway just exited out. He stopped and exited out, so I don't know who that was.
We think it might be Dustin Wardlow. Oh, there it is. Our director. Man, he's good.
Oh, yeah. Big hit. He's exited the car, but yeah, big hit right there into that front wall. And it just looks like he just gets a little loose and just kind of center punches the wall on the inside. That's the end of his day.
So the Candyman is done. Pit stop time. George Sandman was running up onto the back of Robert Bluen and Mike Rigney, and he said, I'll just come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about track position at this point. So if you're going to get held up and you're right in that window, you might as well take it. Hopefully you come out in a clear track.
Show my math skills here. 51 is not a prime number. It is divisible by 3. I think it's 17, which is what lap you would want to get to if you wanted to stop this race. Oh, I hope Sister Mary Catherine is watching, my 6th grade math teacher. She would appreciate that fine example of prime numbers and division all in one, sister.
Groff is pitted. Yazik pitted. Some other people up front still staying out. Karam, Goodman. They're coming up to the pit stops at the moment. So Karam's in. Goodman's going to keep on going, so he's going to squeeze one more lap out of this. He's going to assume the lead at the moment. Right now, George Salmon's coming up the back straightaway. Here comes Sage Karam. He's still making his way down the pit lane. He's in his box right there, first box for being pole position.
Through the S's for Sandman. Through White's corner. Karam is already rolling and back out on the track. Karam cycles out in 7th. Ahead of Samuel Ryman, who's yet to make his stop. The leader of all the cars who have pitted is a little bit misleading, as that is Adam Blocker, but we don't think that first one really means anything. We think he has 2 more left in him.
Yeah, I watched Adam. He came in. He just did a stop and go. He didn't take any service. So Goodman's in right at the moment. So we'll see where he comes out relative to Sage. And basically, he's actually really battling George.
Yeah. Karam should be able to get around him. Where does George Sandman show up?
Yeah, he's going to get him because he's coming through turn 8 at the moment. Going through turn 9, coming onto the front straightaway. Goodman's still getting service. He's down, ready to go. It's going to be close. And Salmon does get him. Actually, it's not as close as I thought.
Goodman comes out just ahead of Scott Bolster. Bolster a lap down and needs to make a pit stop.
Sella hasn't pitted yet, so he's assumed the lead. He's going to probably be coming in this lap, hopefully, but he's definitely been able to make his fuel last to, it's going to be lap 20. And here he comes, coming into the pits. You know, if he can stretch this out, you know, it just makes him take a little less fuel at the end.
Now, this will be interesting because he was in that tight battle with Groff. Groff right now is just getting down into the S's. The other driver who was racing close to him was Martinez, but Martinez had issues.
Cancella's down and going. Where is Groff?
Groff goes around him.
Yep, Groff goes right on by him. So it looks like Groff gained a little bit of track time on Andrew. I don't know if Andrew looked like he might have been in a little bit of traffic.
So we watched that 4-car battle before the pit stop that involved Graff, Kinsella, Harrington, and Martinez. So here's how it plays out. Graff well in front of Kinsella, but look back in 6th position right now. Harrington and Martinez in a battle, and Brian Beard in there as well. Let me make sure Brian has actually made a stop. He has. Then you see those 2 cars back behind coming over the hill right now. Right, that is Larkamp and Yazik. In fact, let's go there right now. The blue car of Yazik making a pass on Larkamp. And Brian gets it done. Move him up to 9th. Larkamp back to 10th.
Nicely done around the outside. I was just going to say it. We were this battle between Martinez and Harrington is raging on. Martinez was in front until he made that mistake, but he's kind of creeped right onto the back of Harrington. So I think that battle is not going to end anytime soon.
Don't need to go there, but I just want to follow up on this story. We talked about Ryman having a good run and that he was ahead of Bob Mikas. Well, after the pit stop, Ryman is in 12th. Mikas is in 13th. They race in the same order, but sure enough, Adam Blocker got by them both. Blocker now in 11th.
Stephen Larkamp in a little bit of traffic, getting hung up a little bit behind Big Joe. Adam Blocker has made his way up to 11th position, but it's about half a straightaway behind Larkamp for 10th at the moment. Sage Karam out to a healthy lead. He's got 16 seconds on George Sandman. 8 seconds. 8.4 seconds. So that's it's pretty healthy on a track this short. So he doesn't really have much stress at the moment.
We're not blinded by celebrity status. Yes, he raced in the actual real-world Indy 500 this season. But we don't need to put the camera on him. He's out there by 10 seconds there. You've had your due. Let's teach the kid a little humility. Let's go back to P15. We ride on board with the Watchman, Mark Cohn, in 17th position. Now he's looking up at a 2-car battle. That's Joe Branch and John Hill. Cohn up 8 positions from where he started. Hill up 8 as well. Branch racing right where he started in 16th spot.
Not much going on up front. Got a couple of 2-car battles, but not quite close enough to make any moves. Oh, look at that. Back in the back, we got some good racing here side by side. That's John Hill going around Joe Branch, it looks like.
We like to kind of lock in our sponsors with some of the onboard cameras that we have. Unfortunately, Brian Greenlee, I believe, was our Thumbs Up Cancer Down onboard camera machine. But nevertheless, let me tell you about those guys. They've been providing Central California cancer patients with support since 2014. To date, nearly 1,000 innovative power-up packs have been delivered to patients in and around Bakersfield. For hospital stays, simple things, that can mean a lot. Each power pack has things like a beanie, a blanket that's made out of special fibers that won't irritate chemo patients, a skin sanitizer, a journal to write in during treatments, a mobile charger, and a cool bag to put it all in. Get involved. Visit thumbsupcancerdown.com. After getting harpooned earlier in the race, the Moby Dickey's car now trying to make its way through. Remember that battle we were looking at? Well, Joe Branch in it. Now Weaver is in there as well as he rides on the back right behind John Hill. They race on the lead lap. 19 cars on the lead lap, the last one being Chris Lanini. Lanini not that far back from this battle, as it also includes Cone. So there's really 5 cars within shouting distance here. Oh, and there goes the Moby Dickey's machine. He beached himself. Justin Weaver gets it backed up. Got to be careful. We ride on board.
Looks like he just got on the gas a little too hard and lost the rear end coming out of 5B. That's not his favorite spot on this track today, that's for sure. Oh, we got another accident up here. Groff. Looks like, oh man, got a whole gaggle of cars coming up the front straightaway here.
Kinsella involved in it. I think it starts with Bolster. And then and we'll stay live and look at this. That's Graff when he gets it going. He gets a little bit of a knock there from Kinsella going by. The blue car is Martinez. I'm sorry, it's pink. Thank you, Director. So that settles down with Harrington. Martinez is going to make a pass on Harrington. Groff is pitting. Martinez does not get the pass made on Harrington. When it was all said and done, Harrington now up into 4th.
Yeah, it all started with, looks like Groff was trying to get around Bolster and didn't quite get it done. And then, Kinsella was so close, just kind of ran right into the back of him and kind of spun everybody around. It really just looked like a racing incident.
And there
you go, right there.
Great job from Harrington taking the high side, going around them all. Ride on board with Graff. That's Bolster, the lapped car. Wink. That's Kinsella bumping in from behind. And then on screen left, that's Harrington going around on the top right there.
Yeah, that's moved Connor Harrington all the way up to 4th spot. We also got Steven Larkamp getting around Andrew Kinsella. Steven Larkamp making some moves. That's going to move Adam Blocker up to 10th position. And he is right behind Brian Beard and Andrew Kinsella. So he is racing hard. Looks like he's going to make a move. Oh, he does make a brave move. Brian Beard going into turn 1. And next is going to be Andrew Kinsella.
This will be his teammate. Kinsella will not put up much of a fight.
He just kind of lets him go.
In fact, I'm not sure if Kinsella's feeling all that good as I think Beard. I think all these guys are going to get him. In fact, Beard has to wait. Beard doesn't realize Kinsella is slow. Now he waits. There's going to be an opportunity for some of these other guys to get around. Beard does not get it going. All right, now I'm not sure if Kinsella is playing defense or just trying to get out of the way. It looks like a defensive line. Yeah, he'd be braking if he wasn't serious. He wants to hang on to this spot, and he does.
Yeah, I don't see any visible damage on his car, so.
Yeah, on my end, I see no left front wing. I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't show up everywhere. You see it right there on the screen.
You are right. You're absolutely right. It didn't show up on my screen, but it is there, and that's definitely not going to help his turning ability anytime soon. He's just got to have to hang on. They can't replace it at the pit stop, but he's just going to have to hang on until he gets to that pit window. Ooh, Brian Beard kind of nudges him out of the way. It's going to go put him out into the grass. And Brian Beard and somebody else gets by.
That was the lap car.
Got it. Lap car, yeah.
Free gets around him, yeah. Kinsella now 2.3 seconds up on Samuel Ryman. Sammy, if you're listening to the broadcast, go get him, baby. He's wounded.
Yeah, I mean, he might have to pit. He's losing a lot of track position. The pit lane's pretty short here, so the delta's not very long, so he can come in, pit. He might be better off just fixing it and getting back out there, but he's going to stay out. He's going to just hang in there.
All right, we go now to 4th position.
It's that same battle we've had for a while between Harrington and Martinez. Martinez has been able to basically reeling him in. He looks like he's going to try to make a move here. He almost tried. Oh, here he goes. He's going to try to do it. There's no room for 2 cars through here. He's just going to better off wait, get the good run, use that push to pass if he has any. Try to go around the outside here at the top of the hill.
From what we've seen on the first half of the race, Martinez is a little faster. And Harrington leaves the inside open. And Damon goes by. I think Connor knows there's another pit stop to come. And he might have noticed this a matter of time before the number 3 was going to get him. So he lets him go by. He'll settle for 5th, live to race on. All right, now, if you look at 22nd position, this is Scott Bolster. Now around him, that's Yosick ahead, Larkamp. Bolster's back there in this mix, and here comes Adam Blocker. Blocker want to make quick work of Bolster, which he does right now. That's the blue car. Oh no! That's not so quick.
No, it's not as quick as we thought. He didn't make it easy. Adam does go by, but he definitely didn't make it easy for him. I'm sure he's not happy about that. But Adam Blocker's made his way all the way up to 8th after that pit stop penalty.
All right, so now he wants to get up to Yosick and Larkamp. These are 2 drivers that have been battling since the opening lap. $13 cars on the lead lap. Some of those drivers we were watching, like Cohn and Branch and Lanini, they've been put a lap down as Karam is beginning to pick them off. Boy, there's some great racing. We're going to probably focus on some racing that's cars that are 1 lap down as the field begins to dwindle than our cars on the lead lap. George Sandman, Michael Goodman, nowhere to be seen. Here comes the pass. And it's done.
He's going to get that done. Kinsella's still hanging in there. He's in 11th spot. I mean, there's only 13 cars on the lead lap, but he's definitely going to wait to that pit stop window, which isn't that far away. We're working lap 32. So about 2 more laps. Oh, Kinsella's in now. Kinsella's coming in. He's in his pit window. Get that fixed and get back out there.
Yeah, I think he's done the math. I think he can probably get there with 1 stop from here, even though it's not right at the 2/3 mark. Get that wing done and go ahead and race. So we'll see how Kinsella fares in relationship to Ryman, who was trying to run him down. I believe Blocker is going to get the best of Yosick down the back straight this time. Blocker in the blue car, Yosick in the blue car.
One's dark blue and one's a little less dark blue.
Getting a little loose in front of his Larkamp, and I think that's going to open it. Oh, Steven gets a good run off of the final corner. I really thought Blocker might have hopes of making that move.
Yeah, it's a nice little battle for 6th spot. You got Steven Larkamp, Adam Blocker, Brian Yosick, all nose to tail. Once again, Adam Blocker really driving the wheels off that thing to get back up to where he started.
I could be wrong. I thought I heard something about Groff. Yeah, getting a drive-through penalty. Our spotter lets me hear about that one. For avoidable contact. So Groff, who was racing well up, has to drive through.
Adam Blocker's going by Steven Larkamp at the moment. They kind of split a lap car there, as we see on the screen. Gets by him, takes over that 6th position. Next on his sights will be Connor Harrington, who's not that far ahead, just about 1 corner. Should be seeing some pit stops fairly soon.
You do have some of the guys in the back. Mark Cohn making a stop. And there's Cone. There we go. Leader of all the cars who have pitted twice, I think it's Kinsella, assuming that that stop is good, if he's good to go from here. And Andrew's pretty sharp. I think he is.
We got Sandman's coming in at the moment, right behind. It looks like Tyler Groff serving his penalty. I wonder if he can serve his penalty and take his pit stop.
Sandman making that stop. Blocker almost. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Blocker not. He still needs to make a third stop.
Man, Karam is just smoking these guys out here today. He is so far ahead. It's not even funny on it. And this track's not very long. It's only like 2.7 miles long. He has yet to make a stop, but he's already he's coming into the pits now.
Once he comes out, we'll run through the field when everybody makes their final stop, and then we'll take an opportunity. I've been waiting for Karam to get to a bunch of lap traffic to see how he deals with it. He's been kind of fortunate so far, picking them off one at a time.
Yeah, he hasn't caught anybody in any real bad situations, but he hasn't been. He's been pretty aggressive.
Man who's hoping for some type of natural disaster right now. Michael Goodman out in front.
Karam's coming back onto the track. Nice clean stop. Nobody around him.
Cycles out in second, ahead of Damon Martinez, who's in third, and Martinez has yet to make his final stop. Just goes to show you what Karam is doing out here.
Adam Blocker's closing up on Damon Martinez. They're running third and fourth, respectively.
Yep.
Although Sandman has come in.
You said the number. It was 2.5 seconds when you talked about how far Blocker was back of Martinez. Now it's down to 1.6. They both need to make a stop. It's for third and fourth. A couple guys will cycle around them like Sandman and Harrington. Our leader coming in.
And right behind them, Adam's going to go another lap, but Martinez is coming in. So Adam's going to try to undercut him. Or overcut him, basically.
Now there's Goodman. Just going across the line right now is George Sandman. So while he's officially in fourth, it basically will be second once everybody comes in.
So we did see that Groff got penalty only, no service, so he had to come in twice.
Goodman comes out in fifth. Ahead of Samuel Ryman. Ryman probably still has to make a stop. Yes, he does. Looking at drivers that still need to start. Lockcamp, Ryman.
Blocker.
Paul Jenkins. Oh, and Blocker, that's right. That darn extra number fooled me in there. That's right.
Yeah, and he's going to go around again. He's stretching this one out.
Well, remember, he did that splash and go about lap 3 or 4, so he's going to run as long as he can. Rich, fast lap, Adam Blocker.
I mean, low fuel, he's got some clear tracks, so why not? He's not going to catch Sage. Sage is way too far in front, but it could jump Adam up in front of
Martinez.
At least Martinez, right. That's what he's looking for. Although he's getting a little traffic at the moment in Moss Corner, as you see. Not too bad. He'll probably come in this lap.
12 cars on the lead lap. The last one being Bob Mikas and the Von Hansen Meat Machine. He's made his stop. He is in 12th.
And Adam Blocker is in. Usually I get proved to be a liar, but this time I was telling the truth.
Well, let's go ahead and pick up Martinez, because I think this one could be close. Martinez had a second and a half before they came in, advantage on Blocker. but Blocker ran that fast lap.
Yeah, I think Damon's going through turn 8 at the moment. You can see the pit comparison on the screen.
Blocker's rolling. Martinez just crossing start-finish line.
It's going to be close.
Blocker's out on track.
And he's going to get him.
Yep.
So putting in those couple of fast laps did all the difference. That's the easiest pass you can make. And nicely done by his crew, and also just knowing the track position of everybody.
That car behind him, that's a fast car. That's Tyler Groff, but he's a lap down. He had to serve that penalty. You see back there, that's Groff, the car well farther back. The little one back there, that is Martinez.
Connor Harrington's not too far behind Martinez. They've been battling all race long, but Damon has pulled a gap on him. But I'm sure Harrington's going to do his best to try to get to the back of him.
All right, all the pits are done. We're going to run you through the field. There are 12 cars on the lead lap. Richie, I'll take the top 6. You get the back 6. Sage Karam, your leader right now, wire to wire, 13 seconds up on George Sandman. Sandman is noted for being better on road courses than he is on ovals, proving that case today here in Canada, as he is 6 seconds up on Michael Goodman. A very quiet run from Goodman. Out there singing an Eric Carmen tune all by myself is Michael Goodman, 6 seconds behind Sandman, 13 seconds up on Adam Blocker. He does have to work his way around the lap car of Joe Branch. Now, here's Blocker. I said everyone has made their stop. I probably jumped the gun on this one because Blocker's fooling us. Again, he has made 2 stops, but he has to make a third one because the first one was a splash and go. So we'll consider him in 4th, and he's going to keep racing. I really think he's going to... Am I wrong? No, Blocker's made his 3rd stop. Soup, get with it here today. Man, I'm having a hard time. So, Damon Martinez races in 5th.
Starting
now
with
3 seconds.
Oh, go ahead.
I give one more. See, I'm going to go to 6th. I'm going to go down to Connor Harrington. That's the 6 on the lead lap. Harrington all by himself. All right, you get those last 6.
Yeah, running 7th is Steven Larkamp. He is started 13th, sitting in 7th, so doing a good job trying to chase down Connor Harrington. Not too far behind him, though, is Brian Yazik, and he's had a good run as well. Started 15th, running in 8th. Kind of trouble-free, but he's got a little distance to catch Steven, but he's there in 8th. Not too far behind him will be Brian Beard. These guys are all separated out. They can see each other, but they're not quite close enough to do anything about it. Sitting in 10th spot. Nice job by Samuel Ryman. He's been kind of hovering right around that spot almost all race long. So starting 18th. Back behind him, coming from his incident early on and fixing that front wing, is Andrew Kinsella. Probably not too happy with where he's sitting right now, but he's trying to make up some positions.
Hurry.
And the last car in the lead lap is Bob Mikus. He's come along the front straightaway, but he is not going to be... He is our last car in the lead lap, but for about 2 more corners he won't be.
We got there, Bobby. We got there. I was worried we weren't going to get there before he went a lap down, but you are on the lead lap. With only 9 to go. Fend him off. Let's stay on this one. Let's see what Mikus does as Karam comes left behind. And not much of a battle from Mikus. Waves Karam by. We have a renowned... Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's interesting to see, like, the guys running top 5 all started in the top 5. Although they're not in that order, but they're all running in the top 5 where they started. And then it really starts to change as we get to 6th position on down, where these guys have made some big moves, going from Samuel Ryman from 18th to 10th. Nice job by him.
Just wanted to mention that we have working as a spotter and putting in some of his chops to maybe join us in the commentator booth soon. We have a renowned black stripe driver with us. Hopefully learning a lot of things how not to call a broadcast from this race.
Learning how to not do any math.
I told you we were going to look at some of these battles that were not on cars on the lead lap. We found one for you. This is Weaver, the Moby Dicky machine. Boy, he's had an adventure. And the watchman, Mark Cohn. It'll be fun because coming up behind them is Blocker in fourth. He'll be there soon. Weaver starts to open it up a little bit. Weaver started in 12th. Cohn a little farther back in 25th. That's really not where you would speak the watchman would start. Let's stay here for a minute because this is going to be interesting. They're coming up. There's a battle for 15th. Well, no, we got a kind of mixed bag here. We got John Hill in 15th. We got Isaiah Dupree a lap down in 23rd. Weaver in the mix as well, Cohn, and then coming up one car on the lead lap is Adam Blocker. But we got a real battle.
Yep, Connor Harrington has caught up to Damon Martinez. He's going around the outside of him into turn 8. Nice clean pass, and he's worked hard to get that position. These guys have been going back and forth a couple times.
About
he's
the third
definitely
time.
worked hard to get that position. Yep.
That's about the third time I've seen Connor Harrington make that pass. With 7 laps to go, Harrington tried to put a little distance between him and Martinez. Not sure that's going to happen.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another pass. This is probably going to be a battle right to the end as we only have 7 laps to go. But these guys have been swapping back and forth. Earlier, we saw Martinez make that mistake, give that position back up. And he got back in front, and Connor's taking it back.
We talked about that battle between Cohn, and Cohn did get lapped by Blocker. Not much going on there back now. Blocker working around. There is a battle for 15th between Hill and Weaver. The Blocker will be on here pretty soon.
I'd like to point out Sage has gotten around Andrew Kinsella and lapped him, so he is lapped all the way up to 11th spot. Samuel Ryman's not too far in front of him. So, man, be interesting to see how far he can get up. He's just really killing it here.
Right. This is Hill and Weaver battle. Weaver looking up at Hill. Don't need to go there, but we'll just give a little verbal tribute to Paul Jenkins, our hard charger. Started in 30th, now in 18th. But this one's heating up here. Here comes Justin Weaver.
Justin Weaver creeping on the back of John Hill there. John Hill doing a good job, 23rd to 15th. Justin's had his problems both times in 5B there. One with a little help and one on his own, so he's looking to make up some time, and looks like he's going to get around John Hill as he's a little bit faster. He's right up on behind him, going down into Moss Corner. Just be a little patient there, Justin. You'll get him right here up this back straightaway. Look, he's gonna pull over. He's gonna let looks like Adam Blocker. He's gonna let Adam Blocker go by. So that's gonna kill that battle for a second.
It sure does. So with that cooling off a bit, I want to jump back into 5th position. Well, actually, I guess it's 6th position. Remember, we saw Connor Harrington go around Damon Martinez, and we said that's not over. Well, it looks like it is over. Harrington is driven away from him, but Martinez's worries are not done yet because Stefan Larkamp is coming. That interval now 1.5, and the Pennsylvania driver is coming quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. You know, maybe he's got to save a little fuel. We don't know what his situation is, but I thought he'd stick right on the back, right back behind Connor Harrington.
Look at that graphic we're putting up there. Shows you the intervals, the lap times between them. You can see that Larkamp is definitely closing.
Yeah, Damon is slowed down and running in the 102s while everybody else around him is running in the mid 101s. So it's about half a second a lap, 0.6 of a lap.
Gonna jump you back to 17th. I told you about Paul Jenkins. He's our hard charger. There's one more for him, and it's the watchman, Mark Cohn. He's coming on him. These cars race in the middle of all the cars, one lap down. We'll keep an eye on this one, and we'll keep an eye on Larkamp. Closing on Martinez.
Yeah, Larkamp's, he's going to get him. He's got 3 to go, but he has closed quite a bit. That last time around was almost 0.8 of a second faster, so definitely Martinez is trying to save fuel, just trying to make it to the end.
With apologies to Paul Jenkins trying to pick up that spot, we're going to jump up and look at this one here. In the tow now is Larkamp. 5 car lanes back. Don't think he's going to get there before he gets to the S's. 3 car lanes back. 2 car lanes back. Did I speak too soon? Nah, he'll have to wait, but he's there for next time.
Yeah, he's close enough now. If he doesn't make a mistake, he should get him next time. We got 2 to go. Fastest lap, Adam Blocker once again dropping the hammer. He's a little far away, though, from catching Goodman. He's half a track behind, so he's not going to catch him, but he's still putting in some good lap times.
Don't need to go there. I just want to talk about that Dan Guerin is still out there racing. It's weird that we've gone a whole race without mentioning Dandy Dan, but he races in 26th position, 3 laps down. Karam has taken the white flag. Only thing between him and the win is about 4 corners and Joe Branch. Here comes that pass on Martinez. Martinez takes the inside line, and it's not going to work. He'll get one more crack at it. Martinez has had enough of drivers going around the outside of him there.
Oh, and he loses control. That's going to let Brian Yazik go by, so that battle's over.
Karam out of the white's corner. He's going to get the thumbs up, cancer down, win. Goes to Sage Karam. Sandman gets second, Goodman. So with that mistake on Larkamp, Yazik now moves up into 7th. Don't think there's time for Stefan to get up there. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all making their way to the back straight right now. Adam Blocker comes across the line. How about 4th? Richie, you thought he could get into the top 10. He did you 6 better than that.
Yeah, he did a good job getting up to that spot.
Out of whites. Connor Harrington went around Martinez 3 times to get 5th. Martinez gets 6th. Yazik 7th. Larkamp will settle for 8th. The last car on the lead lap. Not that far behind those guys. Brian Beard. Okay. I'll catch my breath. The racing is done here. Why don't you guys catch your breath while we take a short break? You can watch this commercial that we're going to run. Then we'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
Streaming cyberspace into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. This is the Global SimRacing Channel's Round 9 coverage of the Lionheart IndyCar Series Thumbs Up, Cancer Down Grand Prix from Motorsports. The results are in. Let's give you those to you now. But wait a minute first. Before I do that, I forgot that I got to talk about what we're actually looking at. And, of course, it is the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show. And if you're like me and you have trouble finding something for the perfect guy who has everything, well, plasma-tracks.com is the only place to go for original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsports fabrication are also available. Words can't do justice to the uniqueness of their wares. The only way to fully appreciate their entire artwork is to see it for yourself. But be warned, once you visit, you'll want to tell the person you live with why you need a Plasma Tracks wall art hanging in your home. See it all at plasma-tracks.com. Use the promo code LRS2019 to get 25% off your order. You would think that Soup had never done a Lionheart race before. All right, now we go to the grid. It is Sage Karam who goes wire to wire, winning by 16 seconds over George Sandman. Michael Goodman gets the final podium spot. He fell well back. He drove through the field. He gets fourth, and we're talking about Adam Blocker, your points leader. Connor Harrington, a really good showing from him, 10th to 5th. The back half of your top 10, Damon Martinez, Brian Yosick, Stephen Larkamp, and the last car on the lead lap, Brian Beard. Samuel Ryman comes home 10th, the first of all cars one lap down. Richie?
Andrew Casella coming home 11th. Was up there earlier on, but had that damage to his front wing. Just lost that track spots. Bob Mikas did a good job finishing 12th. Really nicely done by Ron Hacker, 20th to 13th. Coming home 14th will be Chris Lanini, 23rd to 15th. Nice job by John Hill, holding off Justin Weaver at the end, who comes home 16th. Mark Cohn coming home 17th. Paul Jenkins, we talked about him, 30th to 18th, nicely done. Tyler Groff got that penalty and started 7th, but dropped him all the way down to 19th. And coming home in 20th spot will be Joe Branch.
Hidden Blackjack, two laps down, George Ansaldo. In the double duck spot, James Brandt. Mike Rigney after them, Isaiah Cousin Dupree in 24th. Robert Bluin in the quarter century mark. Dandy Dan Guerin, my goodness, way back in 26th, ahead of Big Joe Hassard. Scott Bolster is in 29 and 28th. 29th and 30th is Dustin Wardlow and Tony Shaw, and I'll run out the rest of these here. Joe Cadigan Flanagan, 31st. Brian Not Easy being Greenlee. David Altman, Brandon Linkeman. Round out your 34 car field that took the grid. With that said, let's go ahead to our interviews now. And I believe I get to talk to Sage Karam, I would assume. Sage, you got a copy?
Yep.
Okay, well, it looked easy up here. Talk about lap traffic. Any issues?
No, it was pretty calm, good night. Yeah, I finished the race with 0 incident points, so that's always good. But yeah, I mean, it's a small track, so there was more lap traffic than if you were on like a Sebring or something. So it's a fast track too. A lot of fast corners. There's only I want to say maybe 1 or 2 real slow corners. So it can get a little bit sketchy with lap traffic, within the fast corners, not knowing which way they're going to go, if they're going to stay on the racing line or go high. But no, everybody was pretty good tonight.
All right, let me ask this question to a guy who did it without a problem 51 times, and that's Moss. Boy, that corner 5 and 6, it was catching everybody out. I don't know if you can really elaborate on that, as you didn't seem to have an issue. Is there something that is tricky about that corner?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely you're braking pretty late and you're getting the gear shifts done pretty quickly, so that the rear end decides to come around a little bit, and it's got this pretty big bump right before you get into it. So and if you let go of the brake too aggressively and too fast, the back snap. So for the race, I just started braking a little bit earlier and softer, so I could still carry the same mid corner speed that if I would brake super late. But that seemed to work, and it really just planted the rear end. And from my qualifying laps, I wasn't losing any time really. So for me, it just seemed like pushing, bringing my brake marker forward, but just a lighter brake pedal and a little bit slower downshifts just to calm everything, and then getting off the pedal earlier to just try and roll the speed, and just kept the platform pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't in practice and even in qualifying I spun there, but in practice, I mean, it was like I couldn't go 5 laps without crashing there. So I think that's how you had to drive it there in the race.
Good explanation. That taught me a lot. Hey, congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Sage Karam, your winner today. Richie?
Yeah, I think we have George Sandman joining us. George, you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I know you had a good win on the Retro Series on the Oval, but we all know that the road courses are more your wheelhouse. Nicely done. Started 4th, finished 2nd. Not really much for Sage, but really clean race there.
Yeah, congrats to Sage. He just pulled away and just left us in the dust. From that point on, I just wanted to make sure I just maintained a distance to Mike behind me, and was able to do that by pitting a little bit early. I was coming up on some lap traffic, so I dove in, and that gave me a few extra seconds to hold the lead or hold second. And from that point on, I just tried to keep that. Wish I would have got a little closer to Sage, though. He just blasted away.
Yeah, he basically didn't have any mistakes. We did see a lot of issues with some of these guys in Moss Corner in turns 5A and 5B. Yeah, you have any problems there today?
No, but I found that as I was going through it, I tended to try to get more conservative and was letting off, and I'd kind of almost like coast through Moss through the corner and get back on it early. So I didn't have any problems there, but I wasn't real fast.
Well, you're fast enough to beat everybody else but Sage, so really nicely done, and it's definitely going to get you some good points for the rookie standings and everything. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All righty. See you then.
Next up, we have our third place finisher. It's Michael Goodman. Mike, help me out here because basically you were in third place. I don't know if you actually raced anybody the whole time. Tell me something exciting that happened in your race.
I actually finished without hitting anything. How's that? Is that exciting?
There you go. Any issues in Moss? Man, Moss was catching them 2 or 3 a lap.
No, not really. For every race, I do a ton of practice, and that was one of the turns that I spent a lot of time practicing. And I pretty much had that turn figured out about 4 or 5 days ago. So I really had no problems there. It was good.
Here's my take on the race. I think you had a third place car, and I think you brought it home in third.
Yes, sir. Yep, just happy to, like I said, I'm just happy to finish one of these things. No driver error on my part, no nothing. It was a nice, clean, uneventful race, and I'll take it. I just want to give since it's been a long time since I've been here, again, I just want to give my sponsor, Ferocity Graphica, Scott Midden, heads up. Thank you for sponsoring me this year. And really, that's about it. I had a blast tonight. It was a good race.
Well done. Way to do it. You did all you could. Third place for Michael Goodman.
Yep.
Richie, who you got?
We have our fourth place finisher here, Adam Blocker. And Adam probably had the most eventful race we had going on out there. We saw you come in early, and I'm assuming you got a penalty for maybe a jump start?
Yeah, got a black flag for jumping the start. Looks like I think I was in. I don't think it was that I went early. I think it was that when we were lined up, like I was ahead of him when the green came out. And then I definitely got a better jump than him too. But yeah.
Yeah, we kind of saw that, and you got a really good start, and then saw you came in. So unfortunately, I think you're the only one who really had probably something for Sage as you busted out some fastest laps right at the end. And, you were all the way back down in the 16th, and I thought maybe you might be able to get into the top 10, but boy, you proved us wrong. You drove the wheels off that thing and really had to make some sketchy passes to get up there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it was pretty, but, definitely got a little bit of help from, I think Tyler Graff had a little bit of incident with Brian Beard and Kinsella, but, jumped a lot of guys in the pit stop cycles because I was using the overcut to my advantage, just trying to get clear track as much as I could. Made a couple interesting moves. At one point, my right wheel mount came off on my rig, so I drove half a lap with my wheel basically not mounted. I had to fix it on the back straight, so that was scary. A couple of times I caught the bump in turn 2 or had to pass people in awkward spots. It wasn't good, but definitely. I think fourth was the most I could do from where I was because there was a huge gap to Goodman ahead, so I'll definitely take fourth out of that race. It's still pretty good for points and another top 5.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. After that penalty, it could have been a lot worse, and there was a lot of action going on back there where you're at. And you could have caught up with kind of what happened to Kinsella there. So nicely done there. Made it exciting for us to watch, and we'll know you'll be up front next week. We'll see you there. So thank you for joining us. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Just everybody I was racing with for racing clean. You guys for calling the race. Just all the organizers for putting it on, and definitely looking forward to Milwaukee.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us, Adam and Soup.
And that's going to do it for us. I want to encourage all the drivers. We didn't get to all of you today. Come on in. It's not always the top drivers we want to talk to. We'll work our best, do our best to try to get to more of you guys next round. First Medical Equipment. They make this thing possible. They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service.
The team behind the AccuForce Pro V2 direct drive steering systems, by providing unparalleled realism and the most advanced tuning features on the market, the AccuForce provides a significant advantage to any sim racer. It can also make for an effective training tool for real-world drivers. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including their GS5C, Stage Series motion systems, and SimVibe software, visit simexperience.com. And like I said earlier, use that promo code SimXLine to get 5% off of all SimVibe software.
Hey, don't forget about Butt Kicker products. That they add the that instant immersion to any game, unlike a subwoofer that moves air and loses accuracy and force. Butt Kicker products move actual mass, producing haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. Butt Kicker products add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism and immersion to your sessions. See all the family of products at thebuttkicker.com. I got a promo code for you, Lion25, to get, how about this percentage, 25% off your order. Richie?
To contact any of the sponsors you see on the screen right now, go to LionheartRacingSeries.com, click on the 2018 sponsors, read or scroll to the bottom where you can click on the company logo. The iconic original music that lets your ears alert your eyes you're watching a GSRC production comes courtesy of June Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact her. On the screen now are just some companies and equipment and software that made this broadcast possible. The Lionheart IndyCar Series returns next week at Milwaukee on the GSRC, and IESN will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us.
Pull the curtain back on that. Richie Hearn, a true professionalist. The script was not updated, but he knew just what to say. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it all at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Richie Hearn, I am impressed. And while you're here, if you haven't done so yet, well, you got to go over to our YouTube page and become one of our YouTube subscribers by hitting that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard a while ago, Richie Hearn, Amjad Jarman's our director, and Dougie Beard is our camera guru. I'd like to thank there we go, and Christian Challenger as our spotter. I'd like to thank all of you for watching as we did see Sage Karam go ahead and get the win here in round number 9 of the Thumbs Up Cancer Down Grand Prix at Mosport. We're off to have fun, storm of the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.